We were talking about how we figure out what the juvenile salmon do in the estuary, and we do this by putting tags in the fish so that we can see the juvenile fish when they come down here. And we have two types of tags that we look at, and for the small fish, pardon me, we have what we call a pit tag. The passive integrated transponder, but we just call it a pit tag because that's much easier.
That makes sense.
And we put this inside of fish that are about this size, so relatively small fish.
Small fish.
And it has an individual mark, so we know that individual. So then we go out in the estuary and we seine and we use an electroshocker to catch fish, different things like that. And then we take this reader out there.
So the fish have to pass through this thing?
Well, we pick up the fish and put them through here.
Oh, okay.
So we'll pick up the reader and then we'll say, it's testing right now, and they'll say scan, and then when the tag goes through, the number of that individual fish will come up, and so then we'll know where that fish was originally, where we put the tag in that fish originally, and then where it went.
So that's really a leap in science to be able to tell where these fish have been.
Yeah, especially with really small tags like that, because that was the biggest problem for a long time, was knowing what the small fish were doing, because we didn't have a way to tag them that would really last very long.
Let them live and be able to do what they do normally.
Right. And so using this, we've determined that the juvenile coho salmon actually use the estuary, which is something that wasn't very well understood previously. And so we've seen them come down into the estuary and then actually go back up and rear in the freshwater after visiting the estuary, which is also new science.
Oh, so it's not just up to the freshwater, they're born, they swim down, and see you later to the ocean. It's an up-back kind of situation.
Looks like that they use both, and so it looks like that they will come down into the estuary at the freshest portions, and then we'll go back up into the stream after that rear for an additional time before leaving for sea.
Very good. And what are they eating when they're in the estuary?
Well, we were just looking at that. They're eating all of these bugs like this. So we have some big pile of bugs here, and we also have some bugs in there.
All right.
So these are amphipods. You can kind of see them wiggling around there.
Wow, can you guys see this? Come on in here.
And they eat insects also, but we sure find plenty of amphipods in their stomach.
Very good. All right. Hi, Tom. How are you?
Tom. Very good. Very good.
Good. This is Tom Rumreich, and some of you that have watched Estuary Live before, I know we have a school from Philomath and one from North Carolina that are repeat visitors to Estuary Live. Maybe know Tom from 2004. What do you have for us, Tom?
I'm talking about the fall Chinook salmon and how they utilize the Coos estuary. Many years ago, about 120 years ago, there were about 100,000 fall Chinook in the Coos estuary, and that was a very large population. Unfortunately, they destroyed the actual spawning habitat, and yet there was a tremendous rearing potential. These fish right here in the tank here are very small. They're only about 4 inches long. Once they enter the estuary, they grow fairly rapidly. The estuary, though, is very, very large. The Coos estuary is the largest estuary in Oregon, about 10,000 acres. It is truly the nursery ground, has tremendous amount of nutrients in it. So once these young fish come out of their freshwater streams and enter the estuary, they can grow very rapidly. Once they enter the ocean, they grow even more rapidly. It would be kind of akin to going to like the King's Table or some other smorgasbord outfit where it never closed. And the law of the ocean is if it's smaller than you, eat it. If it's bigger than you better get out of there. And subsequently, these very fish right here migrate all the way up into Alaskan waters to forage. They grow very rapidly once they get there. These fish right here, they may only be a couple ounces in weight right now, but even as of next fall, they'll actually be up to 6 pounds, and soon they'll be fairly large. They'll be considerably larger. Once they get back into various streams on their spawning migrations, they move. And if I can show you this right here, I actually brought a fish. Those particular fish are only 1 year old. This particular fish is a 4-year-old fish, and might flash you. This is a female fall Chinook.
Can we help you at all here, Tom?
She's not going to like being helped.
Oh,
she's 4 years old, so therefore she's grown in 3 years what they had. She's packing somewhere in the neighborhood of about 5,000 eggs to sow her seeds for the next generation, and I'm going to let her go back onto her spawning grounds where she'll go back to the very gravel bar where she began years ago.
Oh, right. Wow, that's fantastic, Tom. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.